We begin with the latest from the Korean Peninsula. The U.S. and South Korea have kicked off an annual joint aerial drill. It's their latest one yet.
Thousands of troops and hundreds of aircraft are taking part in an apparent show of force against North Korea.
The South Korean and American Air Forces are conducting joint drills until Friday. They're aimed at improving the capabilities of the two countries' air forces to carry out coordinated operations in wartime.
230 aircraft are involved in the 5-day exercise dubbed Vigilant Ace. The U.S. military says state-of-the-art F-35 and F-22 stealth fighters are joining the drills for the first time. Troops will simulate intercepting an aircraft violating airspace. They will also practice attacks on missile launchers and other targets. B-1 bombers are also likely to be deployed for the drill. The move is apparently intended to increase pressure on North Korea as it presses ahead with its nuclear and missile programs. The exercise comes less than 1 week since North Korea tested its most advanced missile yet, one it says is capable of striking the U.S. mainland.
Meanwhile, North Korea is lashing out against the joint drill in a commentary published in the country's Workers' Party newspaper.
The article in Nodong Shimun condemns the drill as being a prelude to the breakout of nuclear war. It describes the exercise as intolerable and reckless and says the drill could destroy peace and stability on the Korean Peninsula. The commentary also stresses that the North will firmly deal with any confrontation from South Korea and the United States.
Earlier, we spoke to a former Japan Air Self-Defense Force commander about the significance of the exercises. Toshimichi Nagaiwa says the drills are a timely opportunity for the U.S. and South Korea to showcase their military capabilities.
The number of troops involved and the military assets being deployed are a clear indication they are taking the North Korean threat seriously. I think that's why they are using F-22 and F-35 stealth fighters. If the two countries ever decided to execute an attack, these aircraft would play a pivotal role. They would be able to navigate through the North's air defense system and attack key military infrastructures, such as communication and radar systems.
The drills are raising concerns in Beijing, which has consistently emphasized dialogue to de-escalate tensions. But Nagaiwa says the U.S. and China may be able to find common ground.
China doesn't want war to break out on the Korean Peninsula. At the same time, I don't think China wants the North to become a nuclear state. So Beijing and Washington may negotiate and have some kind of agreement on this issue.
The drill comes amid warnings from U.S. President Donald Trump's national security advisor that North Korea's nuclear and missile development presents a real grave danger.
You have that direct threat, but you also have the threat of the potential of Japan, South Korea, others arming themselves, possibly even with nuclear weapons. That is not in China's interest, it's not in Russia's interest. And so what the president is saying is we all need to take care of it.
Army General H.R. McMaster spoke to Fox News about North Korea's most recent missile launch, which is believed to be capable of reaching the U.S. mainland. McMaster said he's also worried that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un could sell the country's weapons. McMaster said Washington will work to convince other nations to increase pressure on Pyongyang. At an emergency UN Security Council meeting last week, the U.S. called on countries to sever ties with the North. The American ambassador also said the U.S. asked China to cut off oil supplies to the country.
An American official is raising questions about North Korea's most recent missile test. CNN quoted an unnamed official as saying the missile launched last week likely broke up when it re-entered Earth's atmosphere.
Pyongyang said the new type of ICBM is its most powerful yet. But the official quoted by CNN said the missile likely had problems with re-entry. Pyongyang said it proved its re-entry technology with a missile launch in July, although at least one American expert questioned that claim at the time. The American Defense Secretary says the U.S. is still analyzing the missile's capabilities.
The upper house of Japan's Diet has unanimously adopted a resolution condemning Pyongyang for its recent missile launch. The resolution calls on the government to prepare for contingencies and take thorough measures to ensure the safety of the country's people.
In order to make the North change its policy, we need to create an atmosphere that makes Pyongyang demand an opportunity to engage in dialogue. We can achieve this through the firm diplomatic stance of not succumbing to provocations and by exerting the utmost pressure through the cooperation of a united international community.
Abe also said that he would make further efforts to resolve the issue of Japanese nationals abducted by North Korea.
More and more boats believed to be from North Korea have been appearing off the coast of Japan in recent weeks.
Now, fishermen rescued from one boat are being questioned over theft on an island they'd visited.
Japan's Coast Guard found the men in question on board a wooden boat last Wednesday. He was floating near an uninhabited northern Japanese island. The men say they left the North Korean port of Chongjin in September, but drifted for a month with a broken rudder. When Coast Guard officials found the boat, they say the men threw objects like appliances into the ocean. On board, the officers found things like a TV set. Investigators determined a television, refrigerator, washing machine, and motorcycle had gone missing from a lodge on the island. The building is owned by a local fishing co-op.
I'm afraid someone can sneak into our property. We should have better security.
Police believe the North Koreans looted the lodge. The door had been broken open and almost everything inside had been taken. The North Korean crew say if they hadn't been able to escape to the island, they would have died from the cold. That might have happened to others. 3 bodies were found just hours ago on another part of Japan's coast. Police suspect the people were from North Korea because one was wearing a badge featuring the founder of the country. The Coast Guard had earlier found a wooden ship nearby without anyone on board. Police are looking into whether the 3 might have been crew members. Wooden ships thought to be from North Korea have been found in Japanese waters recently, but they're not rare cases. Japan's Coast Guard says that has happened dozens of times in the past few years. It says many of the crew fish in Japan's exclusive economic zone without permission. Experts believe they're trying to catch as much as they can to boost Pyongyang's foreign currency supply.